Good day. One of the things you do in science quite frequently is prepare graphs, and it's important to get those skills down pat. In the past, a lot of graphs were connect the dots, certainly in physics and quite often in chemistry. They are not connect the dots. They're going to be finding a line of best fit. The steps in graphing are outlined on page 85 of the textbook. What you're going to do is you're going to darken the axes with a ruler, the x and the y axis. The independent variable typically goes on the x-axis. That's the one you control. That's the one you're deciding on how frequently you're going to make a measurement. Dependent variable is called dependent because it depends on that variable. X dictates what you get on the y-axis. The hardest part of graphing is stretching the data vertically and horizontally so it's big and convenient. We're trying to make the graph a nice representation of what's going on, and we don't want to make a tiny little graph. We want it to be as big as possible. Typically we're going to use an X or a dot, and sometimes there'll be a dot with a circle around it whenever we put a graph point in. And then we're going to draw a line of best fit. It may be we're doing a straight line with a ruler in which we try to approximate the slope with half the dots above and half below. Or if we end up with an exponential function, then we have to draw in a line of best fit, which will be a curve. So in the next video, we'll make a graph in which we plot the data for A, and then you can go and make a graph on your own and plot the data for B, and look at different types of relationships that we get from that. So after we've done that, and it helps if I learn how to spell relationship, we would want to describe the relationship, and we want to say what kind of information can we get from that graph, and what are the different uses for graphs. There's definitely more than one. So that's a very brief introduction. It is talked about in the textbook, but the next video will be useful where we actually go and make a graph.